You seem like a very nice man, but teams of this quality do not get relegated. Okay? No, it's a very scary season, very hard season, the beginning of the year. You know, I think we were focused on survival at the beginning of the season. Of course, it's on everybody's mind, this transformation. What these men did was just at some point, they just started believing. They just started believing. You know, Pierre came along. You know, we always told our youth teams in Florida, you know, players just want a good plan that they can believe in, that's well communicated and well taught. And I mean, what Pierre Sage did with his team, exactly that. He was the smartest man in our organization, top to bottom, whether it's coaches or executives. He's a kind man with a good heart. He had a good plan. It was well communicated. It was well taught. I think we're also proud of the Lyon Academy for that reason. We teach good football. That was Pierre. Yeah. He just found out we're keeping him. And yeah, so we all saw it. I mean, the man is amazing. The players are amazing. At some point, they just started believing, and we started winning these games that we should not win. And, you know, you start thinking of, you know, the divine. Well, everybody has God on their side. You know, it's not just us. This was this locker room, this combination of coach and staff and players, and it was so fun to watch. I never thought this could happen tonight. And in one game, you know, yes, we were watching the other scores, and if we could just keep ahead in the game, and then suddenly we weren't, and then suddenly we're facing a PK, and suddenly you're not even looking at 7th, you know, and then you're in Europe, so can't explain it.
Is it your best emotion ever?
No. No.
In football?
In football?
Yeah.
Still not. I watch my kids play, right? We all answer those questions the same way, right? In football, yeah, I mean, beyond family, of course, my God. I mean, like, I remember these great moments where I'm watching football and you see these last days, the beauty of the way they play all the games at the same day, and you see teams struggling to stay up, and you see teams that win championships. And, you know, I remember the Manchester City championship. I used to follow them back. I always rooted for the underdog. You know, when Aguero hit that, you know, close range upper 90, and was it Manchester United that was looking at the screen and realized they lost the championship at that moment? I mean, that felt, you know, we're not the Premier League, but I mean, the whole world will find out what happened tonight if they don't already know, and, you know, in a much smaller way is incredibly special, in a big way for these players. This is special, yeah.
John, you were talking about Pierre. Yes. What would you say about his future?
Well, you know, I think he's very proper, right? So I think he's known for a while that he's our coach. I think he answers these questions respectfully, because there's a level of detail that you just shouldn't get into during the season. So I don't even think it was reported. I mean, I think if several weeks back we significantly increased his pay, that was even before he was approved for a license. So he's had messages of love from us, from me, for quite some time. It was appropriate for him to say that it, you know, hadn't really been discussed in greater detail. You know, when he comes into a burning house, you know, his first agenda was to put the fire out, you know, and then try and salvage some furniture, right? Just get it out of the building, like just get moving forward in life and in football again. But before we could really sit down and say, okay, you're our coach next year, I mean, I needed to hear his vision, his plan, because his first vision was, John, if you do this with me, here's how we put out the fire. So we never had the conversation about what the future would look like beyond that. And it's not fair to Lyon, the community, the club, the fans, just to say, okay, he strung together a bunch of wins and we all have this sugar high and we're feeling great, let's just sign him. You have to understand what he wants to do to continue to build the department, maybe in places to reform the department. What does he see for the style of play? You know, people ask a coach, you know, what setup are you going to use? What style of play are you going to use? Well, the first answer that the coach will give you is depends on the players I have, right? So that's a lot of deep thinking, none of which was possible to happen during the season given what he was doing. 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. That's all he could focus on. And I say he did the first part of his job very, very well. So, of course, he's staying. He's been staying for a while. Nobody's been looking for another coach or thinking of another coach. You know, we sort of say to each other, like, yeah, I may have invented a head coach with him. Well, he invented maybe a good owner with me. So we found each other and helped each other. And when I say each other, I mean the whole organization. So, of course, he's the coach. I mean, why do you guys keep guessing? You know? And we'll figure out how to make it official in the aftermath after the Coupe de France. We have one more game, and we just came out of that locker room. They've already forgotten about this game, except for Alex. Alex just found out what the stakes were if he missed that penalty kick. Apparently he didn't know, which is maybe good, right? So.
Can you try a few words in French?
Well, you should look at my Instagram. I tried a few words in French today. It didn't go so well. But, I don't know. Je suis content, you know? Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.